Whether you are looking to slim down or simply improve your overall health, a fitness tracking wristband might be a great way to help you reach your goal.
It's all the rage now.
It is.
There are many of them on the market. Tech expert and our tech guru, I should say, Shelly Palmer joins us now with some of the reviews of the top 5. I was joking to you before, it seems like at least the Fitbit, which is one of them that you've reviewed, is like a cult. They message each other, people track their steps. My husband makes me park in the back of the mall so he can get steps in.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
Well, it is for me.
I've been wearing a Jawbone Up now for about 7-8 months. I'm 58 pounds lighter than I was.
Yeah,
and you credit the Jawbone.
I credit 2 things: walking every day purposefully for an hour, and watching what I eat. But it's wonderful. It's called the quantified self movement, and it's wonderful to quantify what you're doing. Your husband, who wants to know how many steps he's taken, I want to know how many steps I've taken too, and I want to know how much I sleep. There are a lot of bands you can do that with the Jawbone Up. This is the Fitbit Flex. They are pretty much the same size. There's a new one called the Fitbit Force.
That's what he has.
Right, and then of course the newest, biggest, baddest, no kidding. This is called the Basis B1.
Wow, it's like a watch.
The Basis B1 is a watch, but it is also a heart rate monitor. It knows your perspiration, it knows the skin temperature, it knows your steps, it knows your sleep without you telling it you're going to sleep. This is probably the hardest of the hardcore fitness trackers. Well, it isn't actually the most advanced. In the sub $200 range, this takes you about as far as a fitness tracker can take you. Now, there's 2 kinds of things you can do. You can do fitness tracking like this, where you're looking at steps every day. And by the way, the Jawbones run from $129 to $149 for the newest one called the Up 24. Fitbit, like your husband has, you can get them for $129 for the Flex or $149 for the Force, and this is $199, the Basis B1. There's an entire other group which are real sports tech trackers. TomTom and Garmin make wristwatch-looking devices for runners where you're trying to do laps and you're trying to really figure out.
Runners have worn these for years. It tracks your mileage, it tracks your speed, it tracks all
What makes these different is that these are for ordinary people who just want to be able to quantify, hence the quantified self movement, their movement during the day. Now, if you couple this with a digital scale and you couple it with a calorie tracking app like MyFitnessPal or Lose It, you can create a really simple diet for yourself, and it'd be easy to see this. This is the results.
We don't want this one to fall off of you, too.
Actually, it probably could. The results every day, it tells you how many steps you're taking, and it tells you the number of miles. You can also get them to tell you how much sleep you've slept. This is how much I've slept last night to get here. I got 7 hours because I had to be here early, you know.
And some nice bursts, too. Which there's an accountability factor to
it tells you I take a purposeful walk in the morning. You can actually see the jump in the morning when I got up and did my early morning, and then in the afternoon I walked home from lunch because I wanted to walk home as opposed to take a taxi cab, and that got me to 7.83 miles yesterday, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? Doing 4 miles in the morning and a mile home, and then run. You'll walk around. People will walk around for about 3 miles every day. The difference is when you purposefully walk, you get some aerobic benefit. When you kind of casually walk, it's still great. Right. And the band lets you know. And by the way, one of the things they all do, and this one's kind of great about it, this will, if you sat around for an hour and haven't moved, you can set an alarm that says, hey, get up and walk around.
Hey, you lazy little.
Which is good for you.
So some have displays, some don't. You've reviewed them all. You've got them on your websites?
So here I have, and by the way, the one to use, because you did say I'm going to tell you which one to use, is the one you will leave on the longest during the day. Because if you don't wear it and it's not comfortable, you're not going to use the data, and you can't collect data when you're not wearing it. So the one that's right for you is the one you'll wear all the time.
And you've chosen Jawbone for yourself.
It doesn't have a display. It's water resistant to a point where you can get it.
It's fashionable.
And nobody says to you, oh, you geek, as opposed to when I'm wearing 2 wristwatches, and people kind of go, really? Yeah. You're wearing 2 wristwatches?
Plus your Galaxy Gear watch that you've got around.
Right, so what's the matter with you? You geek, right? So it's a little less geekified.
All right, Shelly Palmer, ShellyPalmer.com, and at Shelly Palmer on Twitter.
We could all use a little geekification every now and again. Don't you think?
Shelly, thanks very much.
Thanks, Shelly.